About a year ago, I did a video showing a few Ricoh film simulation recipes I sourced online plus one of my creation. I clearly did that because I wanted to experiment with them, try different styles, but also because it is a trendy topic on YouTube and other social media platforms. But the truth is that since then, I really didn't use any of these JPEG recipes. I like to shoot raw and edit my pictures, one because you can get the most out of your files, edit them one way and come back later to give it another style, and the second reason is that I simply like the editing process. I know a lot of photographers are just like me. They like to spend time with their photos, pushing and pulling some sliders to hopefully find the cherry that will top the cake. But I am also aware that a lot of you prefer focusing on shooting photos, select the best ones and post them on social medias or just store them without further editing. I get it, and it is actually a good thing to be spending more time and giving more of your energy towards shooting because it is what will make you progress. So today I'm giving JPEG recipes another go and explain you my approach to get the most out of them. I went for the same recipe I created last year for that video. Maybe all the details are not the exact same, so here are the settings if you want to try it. I dialed the white balance, hue and contrast to my liking, and actually it resembles a little bit my most used Lightroom preset. I prefer making a recipe based on the auto white balance because you can virtually use it in any situation and any lighting conditions. I don't like to mess with different recipes for daylight, nighttime or interior. I think it is quite frustrating having to constantly change them, and you also lose any sort of consistency throughout your work. I already gave a few hints about why I don't really like to use them, but let me explain a bit further before elaborating on, according to me, what is the best way to use JPEG recipes on your Ricoh or your Fuji camera, because actually the idea is the same. Like I said before, if you really like one or two recipes that are based on a set white balance, you will have to be extra careful about the shooting conditions. If you forget to switch to a recipe more ideal for nighttime shooting, let's say, you can end up shooting a bunch of photos on daylight white balance, for example, and end up with disgusting yellowish pictures. And if you are crazy enough to shoot JPEGs only, then you're kind of screwed. There is so little flexibility to correct something as important as the white balance that if it is completely off, you can say goodbye to your pictures. Yes, a good photo capturing a very special moment is still a good photo, regardless of the editing or the style, but it is very sad if you are stuck with it and cannot correct the colors, white balance and contrast to make it a great, portfolio-worthy photo. Someone wrote me a comment that I found really interesting. He was really frustrated to have shot a whole trip with a mist filter screwed on his lens. Maybe he liked the effect it makes at the time of shooting, but now, a few months later, he wishes that he would have shot all this trip without any filter to have more flexibility on his files. Shooting with JPEG recipes is the same. You can like a style 1 year, or worse, got influenced by a recipe that was trendy at the time, but 1-2 years later, when looking back at your pictures, you really don't like them because of that embedded look that you cannot change anymore. So the lack of flexibility potentially ruining photos that you took during a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and having to switch recipes depending on the shooting conditions are two reasons I'm not using JPEG recipes. And like I said before, I really like the editing process. It's easy as that. Having some time for it, listening to my preferred playlist while having a coffee, a tea, or even maybe a drink. I really like that, by the way. All that means happiness to me, and I wish you could experiment the same. Maybe if you were editing your pictures with my Lightroom presets, you would enjoy your hours spent on Lightroom just like I do. The link to my shop is in the description as always, and that's gonna be it for this little shameless plug. One thing that I found myself doing, or more so not doing, now that I have a few years of experience in photography, is not taking the shots. Sometimes I am literally walking the streets or in the field and looking at the scene, thinking something like meh, not worth shooting, and a few times without even pointing the camera to that actual scene. It probably comes from the increased quality standards you develop with experience, but it can also come from the very standard bland looking picture profile you see when looking at the camera LCD screen or camera viewfinder. Not taking a shot when shooting digital makes absolutely no sense, and I, and also probably a lot of other photographers, are guilty of that. The worst thing that can happen if you actually take the shot is just having to delete it, and in the best case scenario you can actually end up with a good photo. Something you did not really see while shooting can reveal itself when you look at the photo on a bigger screen. You can see a lot more details and judge the photo in a much more objective way than when you look at it on a tiny low-res camera screen. And here comes the JPEG recipes. Having a baked-in style on your camera can help you visualize a scene with the right amount of contrast, with the right colors and all that. Since you have a more exciting feedback from your screen or viewfinder when shooting, you will probably end up taking more photos, and as a general rule, more photos taken, more good photos you will take. So the JPEG recipe, in my opinion and in my workflow, is just here to give me a better looking feedback that is likely to put me in a more positive mindset. If we think about it, it is exactly what filmmakers are doing. A lot of them are shooting with a lot to have a more reliable feedback on how the shot will end up looking after post-processing. I shoot now JPEG plus RAW and do my post-production workflow as usual. Actually, I don't use the JPEG files at all. If you want to quickly share something online, you can use the JPEG, transfer them to your phone and post them, but I usually prefer to share my final images only. Now it makes me think that you can actually shoot maybe only RAW and make a quick RAW development in camera if you really need to share something immediately. Doing so, you will still have the feedback with the recipe on the camera screen while shooting, and you won't have to deal with the JPEG files when sorting your photos on the computer, and it will spare a little bit of space on the SD card. I know it's maybe not exactly what you expected from a video talking about JPEG recipes, but for me it is just too important to be able to have access to the RAW files from a year, 2 years, 3 years ago if you want to revisit them with a different editing style, or just further adjust them before putting them into a photo book, online portfolio, or a zine. So that's it. I'm curious to know your opinion on that in the comments, and let's see you in the next one. Bye.